Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our session, Paving the Way, Strategies for Winning and Collaborating on Subcontracts. I want to thank everyone for attending today's session. Really excited to have you here, and can't wait to talk about CEI, DBE supportive services, as well as OnStation, and have a great session. So before we get started, let's go over the agenda really quickly. And next slide, please. And first, we're going to talk about who we are and what we do. So what we do at CEI, the DBE firms that we support, what the DBE program is in general, and also the OnStation and what OnStation does, and the apps and platforms that they provide to help, again, improve collaboration across project teams and subcontractors. We're also going to talk specifically about the supportive services that are provided through CEI as part of the DBE program for the states that we support, and kind of as a DBE, what you can expect when you get certified in terms of supportive services for your specific state. And then OnStation is going to be reviewing the smarter subcontracting with location-based tools. So they're going to be doing a demo of their app, and also reviewing a couple of case studies on how that app, again, improving collaboration across teams. And then we're going to be also hosting a Q&A at the end. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as we go through. We are moderating the chat as well. So a couple of quick housekeeping items, and then we're going to make some introductions. First off, again, thank you for joining us. It's really appreciate the OnStation team for pulling this together, and they put a lot of hard work into this, and so we're very grateful for them. The session is being recorded, and the recording will be made available. You'll be getting an email, a post-session email, so access for that recording for on-demand viewing. The audio and video functionality has been disabled for all attendees, but again, the chat is open and available, and really looking forward to your questions, comments as we go through the session today. And we are moderating the chat, so we may hold some of those questions till the end, but the ones that make sense to answer as we go through, we'll certainly do that. And with that, let's go on to the next slide, please. So some quick introductions. My name is Chris Clausing. I am the Director of Government Programs for CEI, and we support DBE firms in several states in the United States. And really what we do as a core of our business is supporting small businesses. So we'll get more into that in just a minute. I'm super excited to introduce Angela Arnold into the session today as well. She's the VP of Revenue at OnStation, and she's going to be kind of doing an overview of the OnStation app. It's just an amazing presentation. Can't wait for that. And then we're also joined by Jordan Anders, and Jordan is the Sales Development Representative at OnStation, and she's going to be joining the call in just a little bit to discuss some case studies. So how OnStation will help support your business and, again, improve that collaboration. So the next slide, please. So I wanted to kind of, before we jump into sort of the process of supportive services in general, I wanted to kind of talk about what is the DBE program. The DBE program is a U.S. Department of Transportation initiative. It's designed to support small businesses that are owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals, so that they have a fair opportunity to compete for federally assisted transportation projects. It sets participation goals for state and local transportation agencies receiving DOT funds, and encourages them to reward percentage of contracts to those certified DBE firms. And the eligibility, there's several eligibility requirements, so we're happy to discuss any of those through CEI. We're going to be putting our contact information in the chat, and also the state DOT that you're in. They will also have information related to certification requirements and the application process. And some of the benefits of becoming certified as a DBE firm: you gain access to resources such as bonding assistance, additional training, construction project management training, mentorship, and also it just helps your firm to build capacity and compete effectively in the marketplace. And then the prime contractors working on DOT funded projects, they're required to make good faith efforts to meet established DBE goals. So either by subcontracting with DBEs or documenting outreach efforts. And that's an important part of, again, the services that we provide. We really help to develop those prime contractor relationships and make those introductions to the DBE firms so that they can participate in these projects. And as a certified DBE, you would be placed into the UCP directory, which is each state has their own directory of certified DBE firms. And that just helps, again, for prime contractors to have access to you and to improve their outreach efforts. Now, on the supportive services side, once you're certified, and again, there's an application process that you go through for approval, and we can discuss more about that. If you reach out to CEI, we can walk you through that, or your state DOT. But after the certification process, it's kind of like, okay, what next? What's the next step? So for us, the CEI specifically, what we do is we would send you a welcome email, which kind of overviews all the basics of the program and the services that we provide, and kind of gives you that foundation, sets you up for success. You would also be given a needs assessment where we would review your business goals, gaps in your business. Then we would connect you with a team member that would be your dedicated support specialist throughout the process. As you're looking for projects, as you're looking to participate in specific projects within your state, we would help to walk you through all those processes. And then the ongoing support. So the processes the services that we provide are ongoing, and we really become partners with the DBE firms that we support. On to the next slide, please. So the welcome email is important. That's whether CEI is your supportive services provider or another firm, you would want to make sure that you read through the information they send you. Typically, there's going to be some very important details there. Website links and sort of next steps. The needs assessment, again, that's something that we'll kind of go through what that is. And then calendar your meeting. Let's connect, meet, and discuss your business goals and where you want to go as a business. Go on to the next slide, please. And then we have the assessment evaluation. This is really probably the meat and potatoes of supportive services in general. Across all the state DOTs and what the services they provide. That needs assessment's a critical piece to understand, okay, what are your gaps in your business? Are you needing more capability, capacity? Do you need access to bonding resources? Maybe you have some staffing questions, issues. Maybe you have questions related to proposals or an RFP, or to actually submitting an estimate, costing, all of those things. We evaluate all of these components of your business to identify any weaknesses or any areas that may need improvement, or again, gaps that we can help fill with other resources. Once we identify those needs, then we're going to prioritize those needs and determine, okay, which ones are going to have the biggest impact on your business operationally. That's a very important piece. And so we want to just prioritize those things that are critical. You know, do you have a website that's functional? Are you active in social media? Are you submitting? Are you accessing the right RFPs? Are you registered in the correct platforms to get access to those? So we review all of those things. Once we kind of identify all the needs and the gaps and the areas that may need improvement, then we're going to develop a customized approach for you and help match you to the services that you need in order to improve those areas. So again, it's really about taking you as a small business, getting you prepared to do business and projects, larger scale projects, and over time building that capacity, getting into bigger projects, and bigger projects still, hopefully, eventually, then you become the prime contractor. Next slide, please. And in the chat, I did notice a question, how do you get certified as a DBE? So definitely reach out to us. We're happy to walk you through that process, and again, refer you to your state DOT, to their resources as well. So definitely reach out to us and utilize us as a resource. We'd love to hear from you. I did want to introduce some members of my incredible team. I'm very humbled to work with incredible people who are supporting DBE firms every single day, and making a real difference in the roadwork, bridge work space, vertical and horizontal construction. We support not only firms that are construction related, but also professional services firms, and then those that just support the construction industry. So I wanted to introduce some of my teammates into the call. I'm going to start with Michelle Stauffer. Michelle, would you mind saying a quick hello and telling everyone what you do?
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you. Hi, I'm Michelle Stauffer, project manager at CEI. I lead the delivery of federally funded DBE supported services program across Ohio and West Virginia. My focus is helping DBEs grow through tailored training, business development, bid matching, and strategic support through the deliverables that our team produces. So whether advancing our services or building the connections with primes, our team's goal is always putting the DBE's success first and foremost. Thank you, Chris. Back to you.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Michelle. And next, I'd like to introduce into the session Greg Brown. Greg is one of our business advisors. Greg, would you like to say a quick hello and tell the group what you do?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. As the business advisor, my key responsibility or responsibilities rely on a few things, meeting with the client and having this one-on-one advising session, piggybacking from the needs assessment. And kind of that forms the basis of the strategic, developing strategic plans to figure out, okay, where do we start in terms of helping you with the growth of your business. And that includes business development, talking a little bit about marketing, helping with any technical areas that you need assistance with. I'm also one of the instructors at CEI, so we can also do one-on-one and or group trainings. And this involves estimating, talking about scheduling, talking about just how to conduct business with the specific state DBE that you are a part of. And also help with proposal writing, business plan writing, accounting basics, bid matching, and so on. So there is no limit to what I do to help, but we definitely start with the needs assessment and then go from there. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. Greg, a man of many hats for sure. So we appreciate you. And then I also want to introduce into the session really quickly to say a quick hello to Karen Rios. Karen Rios, one of our marketing specialists. Karen, would you like to say hello and tell the group what you do?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Chris. As Chris mentioned, my name is Karen. I'm one of the, or I should say, I am the marketing specialist for Ohio and West Virginia. I primarily focus on building your capability statement, building your website, and creating a marketing plan that suits your needs. But those aren't the only three things that I can help you with. I can basically help you with anything having to do with marketing, such as, let's say you need templates for your branding, or you want to revamp your branding altogether, you want a new logo, you need brochures or flyers. I'm definitely here to help you with that. It's always on a case-by-case basis, but more than likely I will be able to help you with your request. And like we've, talked about, that we are here to support you where you're at. So, how Greg mentioned the needs assessment, that's definitely a tool we use to gauge where you're at and then help build you up from there. We want to help you become, eventually a prime contractor. That's the end goal. And, we're here to help you every step of the way, provide you with resources, training, everything you need. So definitely, contact us, give us an email, and we'll help you from there.
Great, Karen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You do a great job with the DB firms. It's amazing. And I also, and although not listed on the slide here, but I wanted Val Smith to say a quick hello. Val oversees our social media. And Val, do you mind just saying a quick hello?
Hi, everyone. I'm Valerie. I am marketing specialist. I am helping build our social media right now. So if you can go ahead and after the presentation, click that link. It'll bring you to our homepage that you can also find in our link in bio on Instagram. We can post more events like this there, and then also more importantly, we have orientations. So we'll have orientations every Tuesday. You can go ahead and sign up there, where you can talk more to us and ask questions and get kind of like the 101 intro from us. And as well as those really important social media icons below. Hit subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram. We are just starting up those social media pages, so bear with us as we have minimal followers, but we've been around, for decades. So just give us a minute to catch up with the digital world. So thank you.
Great, Val. Thank you so much. And yes, we're being dragged into the 21st century here. I love it. Val spearheading that. So thank you so much. And a great interaction in the chat. Yeah, Michelle is definitely, you can put a list in there of the states that we serve. The states that we serve, there are no cost services to the DBE firms. If it's not one of the states that we serve, there's opportunities as well for interstate certification, which we can review with you as well. And also we do certifications for federal contracting as well. So SAM.gov certification, GSA registration, as well as reviews of grants.gov or other potential opportunities. So reach out to us, and our goal is just to connect you with additional project opportunities. So thank you, team, for saying quick hello. Go to the next slide. And they've already kind of reviewed some of the services, so this slide just kind of reinforced that. A lot of training that is provided as part of supportive services, estimating, scheduling, procurement, very important, making sure that you know where to go for additional project opportunities, RFPs, et cetera. We do offer our services in both English and Spanish. So Spanish is your preferred language. We can support you. Business development, the marketing plan, marketing strategies, website, the capability statement. That's a really important deliverable that you would want to make sure that you have a really tight, well-designed capability statement, because that oftentimes is the only thing. If you're at a networking event or at a trade show, or you have an opportunity to meet with a prime contractor one-on-one and maybe a matchmaking event, that capability statement is really the one thing that they have to take back to their office and make sure that you're capable of fulfilling the scope of work. And then, of course, the supportive services. Bid matching is a very popular service that we provide, and we have the ability to do that across all states. Just reach out to us, and we can make sure that your state is supported. Bonding assistance, financial guidance, networking events. We host events all over the country, all throughout the year. So a lot going on here at CEI. Next slide, please. And again, that engagement's really a part of, really core part of what we do at CEI. We want to make sure that, we're engaging with the prime contractors. We want to make sure we're engaging with the DBE firms, with the state agencies, the local agencies. When we host events, we always outreach to the local business development entities, the local and state organizations that are either the procurement offices or regulatory compliance offices, and obviously prime contractors, local industry leadership. Just try to make these events very valuable and useful for you. Of course, you're taking valuable time away from your business to go to these events, participate. So we want to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck and that it's a true investment. So be on the lookout, like Val mentioned, follow us on our social media platforms, and we're always announcing events that we have coming up, and you're always welcome to attend. Next slide, please. And with that, I am going to pass the baton over to Angela, and Angela is going to review the OnStation app. So Angela, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. This is such an engaging conversation, and I love how you went through this incredible array of services that help subcontractors get certified, connect with more primes, describe their capabilities. This is all about getting more work, describing their businesses, and connecting with the right primes, right? The right opportunities. And now I think, to pivot for the other half of this discussion today, I'd like to talk about how you are going to not only get those jobs, but now how do you keep winning jobs? And, you know, the ultimate goal to become your prime's favorite go-to, right? You want that coveted position on their speed dial. And so we're going to talk about how you can achieve that with the OnStation app and what that means. We believe that, and we have observed that better collaboration really helps those subcontractors secure that coveted top position. So with the OnStation app, your project CAD files become viewable on your phone. So you get a live station and offset reading wherever you are on the job. And that means that everyone on the job can capture what they see there without having to wander around or waste time trying to locate the place where they're supposed to do work. Next slide, please. So now I'd like to do a quick poll. I think if you click on the polls tab, or it'll pop up for you, I'm not sure how the interface works, you'll see a question: what is the biggest challenge subcontractors face on a job site? So just pick something that pops out to you, maybe something that resonates for you, incomplete project information, or just trying to locate where you are on the job, where you're supposed to go, documentation for primes and DOTs, and getting paid. We're gonna come back to those results in a second. So got about a minute here before we close that out. Next slide, please. So we know that one of the primary challenges for subcontractors who show up on a job is just trying to get information about the project, right? We know that this challenge is pretty universal, and there's just low project information that trickles down to subs. And think about this picture of paper plans that are taped in an office somewhere, or in a book, or rolled up in somebody's truck. They're out driving around with that information, and you might not have it. Especially when you consider that by the time a sub shows up to do their part on a job, a lot of the conversations, a lot of the data about that job has already been generated. So it's tough to get access and get dialed in with that information. Next slide. So, we also know that, missing stations is a challenge, right? That because you know what to do, you're an expert in your business, you know how to perform that work, and you know who you're working for. But sometimes you may wonder where exactly to go. It's so basic, right? We're looking here at station and offset spray painted onto a barricade. That barricade might move. Here's a stake and left here where somebody's written a station and offset on a stick. That may be gone by the time you come to do your part. And this is a huge problem on job sites for everyone, that we know that this is just the basics of being able to perform the work, is being able to perform the work at the right spot. So now I'm going to come back to that poll. It looks like so far with our results, it looks like our leader here is incomplete project information. So most of 31% of you said incomplete project information, missing data. What is happening? What am I looking at here? That's the biggest challenge. Second most common answer is actually tie for locating where work should be done and getting paid. So yeah, thank you very much for that. That's good data. Next slide, please. Okay, so here is our app that helps people locate where they're working on the job. And this is critical to collaboration because you got to know where you're going to do the work. We're looking at a job here on the OnStation app on our phone. This particular road construction project has 3 alignments. Those are the white lines that you're seeing here. And as I'm holding this phone, walking this job, I can see my live station and offset at the bottom of the phone screen here. I can see my location represented in station and offset, mile marker, lat long, or LRS. So I can actually find exactly where I'm going translated into that job site location system, right? Now, when I get to that job, when I'm on that job, I can actually jump right to a station and offset. So I can go right to an alignment, right to a place. If somebody says, I'll meet you at, such and such station, right? I can go right to that. So I'll see you at 4514 plus 87. Well, what does that mean? You got to get there. Now, when I get there, and this is that project information thing you guys were wanting. When I get there, I can actually turn on the CAD layers or the design information that was part of the original design file of this project. So we're looking at sewage, right-of-way, utilities, proposed utilities, striping, structures. All of that information is rich data that you can see right on your phone. So when you get to that spot, you can see what you're looking at, and that's that project information. We also have an available option where we can take the CAD file of the construction project and superimpose it right on that live alignment. So this can be another layer to help you visualize complex areas, maybe slope or roundabouts or complex areas where there's a lot of data. You can turn that layer on too. And now you're walking your plan sheet. So this is incredibly powerful and it's all on your phone. So you can jump right to your location. Now, I know where I'm at. Once I get there, I want to be able to do some work or document my work. This is what we call dropping a flag. And you can see this on this app right here. We're looking at dropping a flag for eroded culvert after heavy rain. This is a place, somebody took a picture, something happened here. And now in our app, you're going to drop that flag, take a picture, and you're going to chat somebody. Hey, somebody needs to get out here. There's an issue here. We've got water and we need some activity we need some action to remediate it. So what we're doing here in our app, you're going to take a picture, you're going to drop a flag, you're going to comment on it, and everybody's looking at the same place on their phone in the same app. And this gets it out of text, out of SMS, out of emails. We're all looking at that flag on the job. And that's incredibly powerful because when you have a flag, you're either going to keep it private for yourself to document your own work, or in this case, what we're looking at here, you're going to share it to everybody else on the job. So you have that option to either keep it private and just document your work, or to share it out, maybe to a DOT inspector, to your prime, other subs. This is incredibly powerful because you got to think about how you're doing it today, right? This is going through SMS, it's going on text, it's going on emails. You got to get back to the office and download everybody's pictures. And then you have to figure out how you're going to store all that stuff. So with this app, we're going to facilitate better collaboration because we're all going to have the same tools at our fingertips. So now I'd like to go to the next slide. I'd like to have Jordan talk a little bit about what that actually looks like in the real world with an erosion control case study.
Hi, thank you so much, Angela. So I wanted to show a use case from a current customer. This is an erosion control company that was contracted by a prime on a 2-year mega project out in Iowa. On this project, the DOT inspectors flagged problems. The erosion control company performed erosion fixes for the prime, and the prime pays the sub for the contracted work. Before implementing OnStation, very similar to what Angela said, the inspectors were sharing critical project information through texts, emails, SMS, and the sub would have to download and compile all that information to share it with their team. And then the sub would have to find out the location of where that work needed to be done. So I wanted to show 2 scenarios after OnStation was implemented by the company. On the left slide, you'll see a photo of a split fence that was 50% full and needs to be cleaned out that a DOT inspector took in the app. On the right, you'll see that this photo was added to a flag and shared with the DOT and the erosion control users. Now, this flag is also time and geotagged. So the erosion control company now knows exactly where that work needs to be done. Next slide, please. So the photo on the left is actually that flag data. I know it's a little bit hard to see on the screen, but that flag is showing the subcontractor dropped this flag to document where and how much wattle was installed. They attached a photo as well, proving that the work was done and showing exactly where it was done, and shared it with the erosion control company and the prime contractor. This process saves time for everyone on the project. Team members are no longer wandering around trying to find their location, combing through text, combing through email threads, trying to find that piece of information they need. Instead, all of that project data is recorded and easily exported from the app to share with their prime. And better documentation we've seen has led to stronger relationships with prime contractors, which of course lets you win more bids. That's all I got, guys.
Thanks, Jordan. All right. Well, so I think everybody can imagine how having better project information, having better collaboration, having data that's geotagged and timestamped like that can be very powerful. We have observed and we know that better collaboration does happen when everyone knows where the work should go, and when people can communicate in a common platform, so they're all dialed in and talking together, and when work is properly documented for project closeout. Now, our app is sold by the license, so you can explore this at the end of the discussion today, we'll have a URL and a QR code for you to get more information. But pricing for our app starts at $46 per person per month. It's billed annually, and there is a discount for attendees today. I think, one of the things that's so exciting about this discussion is that we know that with CEI's help, you're going to be putting your best foot forward, getting in the door, and connecting with more primes outside your own backyard, right? And with OnStation, you're going to be able to be the subcontractor who's bringing innovation that will endear you to that prime and keep them coming back to you for more of your services. So it's all together. And I want to just transition here to the Q&A for Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angela. Appreciate it, Jordan. That was great. I know Cammie's been moderating our chat here. Cammie, were there questions in the chat that we could answer?
Yeah, we have a few questions. The first one was for CEI of how do they find work opportunities?
Perfect. So if you reach out to us, we can definitely kind of go over the different options that are available in your specific state. So that'd be a state-specific review process we could do for you. But in general, we offer a service called bid matching, which basically takes all the lettings that are released through the BidX platform, and we organize them through job code and NICS codes for you. So that'd be great if you could participate in the bid matching, reach out to us, and we'll talk to you more about that. And then also you would want to make sure that you're registered with the local and state agencies, that you want to make sure you're registered with those procurement websites so that you're made aware of project opportunities as the RFPs are released. So those would be the kind of the main things that I would say. And then also follow us to make sure that you're attending any of our networking events, because if there's prime contractors that are working in your state, let us know. If there's projects, let us know that you might be interested in participating in. We can reach out to those prime contractors and make sure that you're properly registered with them as a vendor as well.
Awesome. The next one we have is for the OnStation team. Is the app national or just specific to your region from Kimberly?
Great question. The OnStation app is available across the United States. So the way it works is we ingest those project files for our app, and then once it's loaded and live in the app, you can go out and use it on your job. So we just have to have your project stationed in our app for you to use. It is free to try. And if you, again, at the end of this, there'll be a QR code to help you install the app. Install the app, you can actually just search what's nearby. You can find a job, see if there's one nearby. If not, reach out to us, we'll get it loaded for you.
Great. We have another one for the CEI team of how do I connect to a prime contractor?
Yeah, and I would probably the same thing. Reach out to us so we can first of all identify which state you're in, and see if there's projects that are upcoming in that particular municipality or in that region. We'd be happy to connect you with prime contractors that have been awarded projects in those areas. Also, just in general, we can kind of help you develop what we call the elevator speech, which is a 1-2 minute quick review of what you do when you have that opportunity, maybe in a matchmaking event of some kind, or if you're at a trade show and you're engaging with prime contractors. You want to make sure that you have a solid capability statement, and you have a very short but concise message to share with them. So these are things that we help you to develop and to make sure that you have these skills whenever you get that, that door opens with the prime. But I would say reach out to us and we can definitely help you, guide you in the right direction.
Awesome. And we have one more for the CEI team. Are the specialists you work with state specific?
We do have them assigned to specific states, but any specialist would be able to help you with any state. Again, the states that we serve are at no cost to the DBEs. The states that we don't serve, we would be able to direct you to the resources to those supportive services. But yeah, our specialists are familiar with all 50 states and their processes.
Awesome. We have another question from Kimberly for the OnStation team. Is the app using a combination of bid match and web scraping to locate the projects?
Right, we use publicly available data. And again, there are thousands of jobs that are already stationed in the app. So that is part of our process. We actually do that work for you. So let us know what job you're working on and we can acquire that for you. That's part of the service, and that's included along with training, along with unlimited projects in the app. Again, you're only buying licenses for your crews. So all of these services and features come with the licenses, including that ingestion of the project and loading of it.
Great, and we have two more, looks like, for the OnStation team, and then we'll wrap up the Q&A. First one is, how do we export data from OnStation?
Right, what we've talked about here today is the front end of the app, which is the app that your end users will be in. They're dropping flags, they're finding location. There's actually a back end, the OnStation portal, and that's where an administrator or an owner type person will be able to extract and export all of the data that all of their users have generated, so that you can go in and pull those flags and submit that with your payment. So, or with your payment requests and your billing. So it's like that portal is where you're going to get all that data, wrap it up at project closeout. Simplifies the entire process. Next question.
One more is, will my competitors see my proprietary data?
No, no, they will not. The project information is public. This is a DOT job typically, or some sort of municipal job. It's open. The data that is created by you, by your team, the flags that you are dropping, is always private to you, unless you choose to share it to someone. It's always a proactive step in our app, so it's never accidental, and it's always private to you. So no one can see it unless you want them to. Great question.
Perfect. I think, Kim, that wraps the Q&A, right?
Yep, so I'll hand it back to you, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, again, really want to thank everyone for joining us today. We know you're busy, you have a lot going on, you're in busy season, but we just really appreciate you spending the time. We hope you found this valuable. Please scan the QR code. That'll send you to a landing page on the OnStation website where you can put your information in there, reach out for more information. We put the information for CEI in the chat, so please utilize us as a service. That's what we're here for. And we just love to hear your story and to try to help you to expand your business. And special thanks again to the OnStation team. They work so hard to pull this together, and all the work that they put into it, and helping us and the CEI team to learn the platform. It's just been a really great collaboration, and super grateful to have you guys as partners. So again, thank you all for joining us. With that, we'll close the session, and we wish you all the best and have a great afternoon and a great weekend coming up. Thank you, everybody.
Ditto that, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.